Students, we are going to derive an expression for the energy of the electron in the nth orbit. This is also called as Bohr's energy. Now, we can see that an electron is revolving around the nucleus in circular orbit, and due to the charge of the electron and the charge of the nucleus, there will be electrostatic potential energy for the electron. And due to the motion of the electron, it will also possess kinetic energy. So, two types of energies it will possess. One is called electrostatic potential energy. So, we will start this derivation with the expression electrostatic potential energy. So, electrostatic potential energy of the electron is given by Pe in the nth orbit. So, suffix n, Pen, which is also denoted by capital Un. So, this is equal to 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught into Ze, the charge of the nucleus, into minus E, the charge of the electron, divided by the distance of separation between the two charges is what? Rn. So, this Un is equal to minus Ze square divided by 4 pi epsilon naught into Rn. But already the radius of the electron's nth orbit we have derived. I am going to substitute. So, we know that the value of Rn, this Rn is equal to epsilon naught n square h square divided by pi m ze square. So, I am going to substitute for Rn. Rn is in the denominator, is it not? Since the radius of the electron is in the denominator, so I substitute. Therefore, what is the Un is now equal to this minus Ze square divided by 4 pi epsilon naught. I will write first. Okay. So, into 1 by Rn. So, I am going to multiply with the reciprocal of this. So, into pi m Ze square divided by epsilon naught n square into h square. So, this pi term gets cancelled. Okay. All other terms you see here, m is there, m power 1. Then z into z will become z square. Then e square into e square will become e power 4. In the denominator, 4 into epsilon naught will be epsilon naught whole square into n square h square. Therefore, okay, therefore, the potential energy, electrostatic potential energy is equal to minus m z square e power 4 divided by 4 epsilon naught square n square into h square. So, this is one of the main equations in this derivation. So, this is the potential energy of the electron in the nth orbit. Have you understood? Now, we go for what? Kinetic energy of the electron. So, the kinetic energy of the electron in the nth orbit is, so Ke in the nth orbit. So, this also can be written as K suffix n. Un for potential and Kn for kinetic energy in the nth orbit. So, this is equal to half into mv square in the nth orbit. So, mv square by r. For this, we have to recall for dynamic equilibrium, the electrostatic force or the Coulomb force between the nucleus and the electron is equal to the centripetal force. Is it not? So, I will recall here the magnitude of F Coulomb force. Okay, this is equal to F centripetal. So, this is centripetal. Now, the Coulomb force between the two is what? 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught into Ze square. Only the magnitude I am writing. So, only the magnitude Ze into E will become Ze square by R square in the nth orbit. So, this is equal to mvn square divided by rn. So this Rn square and this Rn power 1, no? So I can cancel this square term with this Rn. Is it not? So I will rewrite. So mv square, after cancelling this Rn and the power of Rn square, I will exchange the sides now. Therefore, m into vn square is equal to ze square divided by 4 pi epsilon naught. Okay, so this is 4 pi epsilon naught into Rn. Now I need only half mv square. Here mv square is available. So I will divide on both sides by 2. So that the left hand side will become what? Half mv square. This is the idea. So I can get an expression for half mvn square. No. For this mvn square I have to multiply by 1 by 2 or divide it by 2. So mvn square divided by 2. So in the denominator on the right hand side also I have to multiply by 2. No. So 4 into 2 will become 8. So that this is equal to ze square divided by 8 pi epsilon naught into Rn. Again I am going to substitute for Rn. So what is the value of Rn? Already we have written here, you see here, what is Rn equal to epsilon naught n square h square by pi m z square. Here also the denominator term, Rn is in the denominator. So I will write here. So this one, therefore m v square by 2. So this is the kinetic energy. So this is now equal to ze square divided by 8 pi epsilon naught into, so multiplied by, now Rn is in the denominator, so I will take the reciprocal and multiply. So pi m z square. So into pi m z square divided by epsilon naught n square h square. So this is epsilon naught n square into h square. So here also the pi term only is getting cancelled. Understand? So what are the remaining terms of this is equal to m power 1 z into z square, e square into e square is e power 4. Therefore kn, kinetic energy in the nth orbit, is equal to m z square e power 4 divided by, denominator there is a 8 epsilon naught into epsilon naught is epsilon naught square. So this is 8 epsilon naught square n square into h square. So this is another very important equation in this derivation. So you can look at the equation number 1 and 2. Equation 1 gives what? The potential energy of the electron in the nth orbit. And equation 2 gives what? The kinetic energy of the electron in the nth orbit. Kinetic energy is positive, while electrostatic potential energy is negative, because it is equal to the work done in moving the electron away from the nucleus against the attraction. The electron is negative charge, it is being attracted towards the nucleus. So against this attraction, it is moved through a distance Rn. That work done only is stored as what? Potential energy, and hence it is negative. That means it is bound to the nucleus. The electron is bound to the nucleus. That's the meaning of the negative term for the potential energy. Okay, students? Now, you see here, there is a relationship. There is a relationship between the kinetic energy and the potential energy. Suppose you multiply on both sides of the potential energy by 2, you will get minus 2m z square e power 4 by 4 epsilon naught square n square h square into 2 is 8 epsilon naught square n square h square. So same denominator will come. So from this I find that the potential energy is equal to minus 2 times the kinetic energy. This is a very, very important conversion factor. This is very, very important conversion factor in solving the numerical problems in competitive exams. Have you understood? So the potential energy is minus 2 times the kinetic energy. Okay, students, now we want to find the total energy of the electron in the nth orbit. Okay. So I will write total energy of electron. So total energy of electron in the nth orbit is the total energy is denoted by En. So this is equal to potential energy Un plus kinetic energy Kn. Okay, students, I am going to sum up the two terms. So instead of potential energy, I will substitute this. Instead of kinetic energy, I am going to substitute this. And I am going to write this side. Have you all understood up to this? Okay, I will rub this side and I am going to rewrite that. Substitute for the potential energy and the kinetic energy. Therefore, the energy of the electron in the nth orbit is equal to, instead of Un, I will substitute minus mz square e power 4 divided by 4 epsilon naught square n square h square plus, instead of kinetic energy, I will substitute mz square e power 4 divided by 8 epsilon naught square n square h square. So I will multiply the first term in the numerator and denominator by 2, so that it will become minus 2 mz square e power 4. Okay, and this will become plus mz square e power 4. So that the denominator is a common denominator. I have multiplied by 2, is it not? So it will become what? 8 epsilon naught square n square h square. Okay. So this is minus 2x term. This is x term. Therefore it is minus x. So this is now equal to minus mz square e power 4 divided by 8 epsilon naught square n square h square. So this is the energy of the electron, the total energy of the electron in the nth orbit. So this is a very important equation number 3. So have you understood up to this equation? Now you look at the equation number 2 for kinetic energy and 3 for the total energy. Another fact will be understood. So the denominator is 8 epsilon naught square n square h square. Here also the denominator is the same. There also numerator is mz square e power 4 positive, whereas here it is negative. So from this we come to know that, okay, therefore the total energy is equal to minus 1 times the kinetic energy. Already we have derived one equation, is it not? So we have already derived here the potential energy is minus 2 times the kinetic energy. And here we find that the total energy is negative of the kinetic energy. Understand? So this is the expression for the total energy of the electron in the nth orbit. So the total energy is also what? Negative. Second, we will look at this equation number 3. The energy of the electron in the nth orbit is expressed in units of joule. So here what is the unit of this energy is in joule, which is a SI unit. And also here Z square. For hydrogen atom I am going to consider Z is equal to 1. So for hydrogen atom Z is equal to 1. So we rewrite the equation En is equal to minus m e power 4 divided by 8 epsilon naught square n square h square. So here also the unit is joule. Suppose if I will convert this joule into electron volt. Electron volt is another unit of energy of the subatomic particles. So 1 electron volt is equal to how much? 1.6 into 10 to the power of minus 19 joule. So joule to electron volt means I have to divide this by the charge of the electron. Okay students, so if you convert this into electron volt means it is found that it is minus 13.6 divided by n square into electron volt. This is another expression for the energy in terms of electron volt. So En is now equal to minus 13.6 divided by n square, and the unit is electron volt. So in this equation you can see that the term on the left hand side is energy En and the term on the right hand side, denominator is n square. N is the principal quantum number. If you just look at these two terms E and n square, anyone will say that En is inversely proportional to n square. So as the value of n increases, the energy decreases only, they will misunderstand. But actually, you should see that there is a negative sign also here. So here you should understand that as the value of n increases, the energy of the electron will also increase because of the negative sign. Okay. Suppose you take n is equal to 1 in this equation. So I am going to take the value of n is equal to 1. That is the first orbit. So the principal quantum number, if n is equal to 1, then we get the energy of the electron in the first orbit, that is equal to minus 13.6 electron volt. And this is the minimum energy of the ground state electron of the hydrogen atom. So that is equal to minus 13.6 electron volt. This is also called as 1 Rydberg. So 1 Rydberg also is equal to minus 13.6 electron volt, which is 1 unit of the energy of the subatomic particles. Similarly, if you want to find E2, means this is minus 13.6 divided by, instead of n square, I will write here 2 square. So instead of n square, I will substitute 2 square. So this is equal to minus 13.6 divided by 4. So this is equal to minus 3.4 electron volt. And E3, if you find, this is the energy of the electron in the third orbit. So this is equal to minus 13.6 divided by 3 square. So this is minus 13.6 divided by 9. This is equal to minus 1.51 electron volt. So this is how we can find the energy of the electron in the nth orbit. Suppose if you take n is equal to infinity, say if n is equal to infinity, means then the energy of the electron is equal to minus 13.6 divided by infinity, and this is equal to how much? 0. This is the energy of the electron. This is the maximum energy that an electron can have in the orbit. So in all the orbits except infinity, its energy is negative. Comparing to the negative value, 0 is higher value. Therefore, it is having the maximum energy when it is ionized. That means the electron is totally removed from the atom. Okay, students, fine.